Hello, today we're going to be looking at buffing the headlights on your car. This is a really simple, easy, cost-effective thing that can make your car look quite a bit newer and nicer. Today we're looking at a 2006 Nissan Altima, and it's really in great shape all the way around, but it really looks a little bit dull because it's got these really hazy, oxidized headlights. And this is a procedure that I do pretty often to probably most of the vehicles that I work with, because it's something that's really easy and people just love it. It really makes their car look like $1 million. So I've tried a whole lot of different procedures and ways of doing this. I've tried using toothpaste. I've seen people recommend that on the internet. That's obviously an abrasive compound that will work to some extent or another. I've got air tools and all sorts of different buffing compounds and buffing wheels and stuff. But the kit or set of materials that I like the best is the stuff made by 3M. And for today's demonstration, I'm just going to use a little starter kit that they offer. This particular one is 39008, but they offer a wide variety of kits that are all pretty similar. And then if you like them, you can buy the materials in bulk. You can go buy 20 sanding discs and 20 buffing pads and stuff like that. So it's a pretty nice kit if you're a professional mechanic or just someone who wants to do it once and be done with it. So this is what I'm going to demonstrate with today is just the things that come in this kit. There are a few things that you will need that don't come in the kit. The one they mentioned, of course, is a power drill. We're also going to use a air compressor and air hose to blow dust out of our work area. Some safety glasses. We're working with a drill and lots of particulate matter, so you want to make sure you keep that out of your eyes. A little bit of masking tape there. I think there's actually some 3M masking tape from some other 3M kit I got at some point. Then just a bucket of detailing rags, and then just a bottle of soapy water. I just take a bottle of Windex and fill it up with soapy water, and this is important in the later steps. For doing the really fine grit polishing on your headlights, and then also for getting your headlights clean, which is where we're going to start. Before we can begin the process of buffing them, we need to get them as clean as possible. So we're just going to really aggressively scrub them with some rags and some soapy water, and then after that, we're going to pop the hood to get this paint area here out of the way of our work, and then we're going to mask off the bumper cover that surrounds the headlight with a couple layers of masking tape, because the sanding wheel that we're going to use is going to nick the area that surrounds it just a little bit as we're getting the edges. You want to make sure that you don't take any paint off. So we're going to do that right now and take it from there. Alright, we've got our drill ready to go, and we've got one of the 500 grit sanding discs attached to the drill. And this is really the most important step in a lot of ways. You need to make sure that you're taking off enough material from the lens that you're going to remove all of the largest, deepest imperfections from the lens. Because if you don't take enough material off, and then you get through all the later buffing steps, you're going to have a bunch of really shiny flaws. It won't be a clean, clear look. It'll still have a lot of flaws in it. So you just want to be as aggressive as you can. Focus on the areas that are the most heavily oxidized. In this case, kind of the outer area. The lens right here looks like it has it the worst. And just use up all your sandpaper. It really doesn't do you any harm to take off quite a bit of material. There's plenty of it there. Make sure that you are very frequently cleaning the lens as you sand it. So the sandpaper is cutting into the lens and removing material, and you want to make sure that you're taking the material away from the field that you're cutting on, or it's just going to pollute the sanding disc, and the sanding disc won't be able to continue cutting effectively. So what I like to do is just blow on it with some compressed air, but compressed air is certainly not required. You can also just use a dry cloth to clear the lens every 10 seconds or so, and then also wipe off your sanding disc. So let's get started with that. was a pretty good pass there. And we're just going to wipe off all of the material that we've just cut off the lens. And it's going to get a lot foggier during this first pass. And you also want to make sure that you don't sand for too long on a single pass, because the lens and the sanding disc will heat up pretty quickly, and it will actually melt the lens, and then you'll have to sand off the area that you've melted, and it will ruin the sanding disc that you're using on that pass. And we're just going to keep doing this on both of the headlights until we've completely exhausted all of the coarsest grit sanding discs. Alright, now we've got our 800 grit sanding pad, and we're going to do basically the same thing we were doing with our 500 grit sanding pads. Alright, we've exhausted our 800 grit sandpaper, so now we're ready to move on to the final grade of sandpaper. This is a wet sanding procedure, so that's where our bottle of soapy water is going to come in handy. And first we're just going to clean the lens. And this step is where you're going to see things really start to clear up the most. Make sure everything's completely clean here. And we just want to keep everything completely wet while we're sanding, so it's nice and lubricated. Alright, we're just about done with this one, and we're ready to move on to the other light. As you can see, quite a bit clearer now after that step, and then we just need to buff it. Alright, we're ready for our last step now. We've got our buffing pad and the pack of buffing polish that came with our kit. We're just going to put a really small amount on the pad, a dime-sized amount. It'll stretch a lot farther than you think. Just that much there, and spread it around just a little bit. You can see a pretty immediate difference there, kind of striking the first little swath you cover. And do a little bit more. That looks pretty darn good. Big contrast from when we started. Zoom in a little bit here. You can see it's very, very clear. And then we're just going to use the rest of the package on our other headlight, and some more passes on this one, of course. And that's pretty much all there is to this process. Usually you've got more than enough for one car in that kit. And every now and then I'll have just a little bit left over, and I'll do a little bit of buffing on my wife's car or something like that while I'm at it. But that's pretty much all there is to it. If you have any questions, feel free to post them on the video, and I'll do my best to try to help. Thanks for watching.